Welcome back to the Fertility Diaries. I'm Charly.
And I'm Portia, and each week we are here talking all things fertility, ambition, identity, and everything in between.
We're not here as experts, we're here as two besties, living it, learning all about it, and here for the top tier general chit chat.
Top tier indeed.
Top tier. So, Portia, fill us in on what's been happening.
So I went to the Avenues Open Evening, which Avenues is a clinic in London. It's the big yellow clinic. So they had a webinar on called When Implantation Fails or Pregnancy Doesn't Hold, There May Be More to the Story. So it was an immunology investigations and support webinar. So I did submit a question beforehand. I think I mentioned this a few, sorry guys, this is how I've been meaning to give this update for ages. I said about, do I need NK testing if I've already got these anti-nuclear antibodies, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't actually answer my question, even though they did Q&A. But some people were going like, when people ask really specific questions in the chat, and it's like, you were given the opportunity to submit a question in advance. Why are you just submitting them now? And then they were like asking questions about the pricing, like, because they do like one of those lower tier IVFs, like the ones they do at like ABC and places like that, where it's like the nurse-led, cheaper one. And they were like, well, that's the criteria for that is obviously like under 35 and like AMH of whatever. If you've got recurrent implantation failure, like you're here for this, and miscarriages, you're probably not going to be appropriate for that. So you're like, why are you even asking that question? Anyway.
Were they answering them at the time?
No, they ignored quite a lot. They didn't have time to. But it was very informative. But basically, I didn't realise they do quite a lot of testing there. So there was a few things they were offering on this webinar. So the recurring implantation failure testing is testing for autoimmune and elevated immune profiles, including NK cells, endometrio, which is Emma, Alice, and ERA, like the trio of endometrial tests, and the diagnostic hysteroscopy. So Emma, Alice, and ERA are different tests you can get at a few. I think Care Fertility do it, and there's a few other places you can get it done. Emma is your microbiome testing. This is why, right? I'm always a bit like, why do these people slag off clinics abroad for doing these tests when we do offer them in the UK, even though there's not the data for them? So Emma is your microbiome. So that's looking at if there's enough lactobacilli.
Yeah.
I would fail Emma. Alice is your analysis of infectious chronic endometritis, which again, I feel like endometritis is having like a buzz at the minute, but it's been around a while that's what Alice testing is. I didn't actually know that.
No.
So Alice is the testing of your endometrial lining. And then ERA is where they do a mock transfer. So they literally, you have all the, it's weird. You have all the transfer medications if you're about to have a transfer, and instead on the day of transfer they take a biopsy of your lining, and they basically test how receptive it would have been for an embryo.
That's quite cool.
They can test it for NK cells as well, I think, as well. Time. But the data on ERA isn't great. It's there's several studies found it hasn't improved live birth rates, basically. But it's there. So you've got that kind of trio of tests and your NK cells, and obviously the hysteroscopy to look at those is £3,149. You've then got recurring pregnancy loss testing. So this is for people who've had miscarriages. Recurring pregnancy loss testing is your endometrial receptivity testing. So you've got Emma, ERA, and Alice again. And that basically your ERA identifies the optimal embryo transfer window and includes that, like I just said, you can on the biopsy you can check for NK cells. And then they do antiphospholipids. That's your clotting panel for your blood clots. That's only £1,249. So I'm quite
half the price.
Well, but how? If you're having that full panel, like that must mean that NK. I think it must be the hysteroscopy they do. But then, to be fair though, endometrial receptivity testing, I've seen it for quite expensive, like £600-700 in the UK, I think. In Turkey, it's £270 to have that with the NK testing of the cells. But how is it like £1,900 more expensive?
Yes, I was going to say, what are you
NK
getting?
cells and like the hysteroscopy? Basically, it must be.
It must just be more expensive, I think.
And then the male factor investigation is advanced sperm DNA fragmentation testing and semen microbiology culture for $499. So you've not got your oxidative stress in there by the look of it.
No.
Or any infection panels. So for me, to have the recurring implantation failure testing and the male factor investigation, because you just, kind of lining this up with what the Greece prices were. It would be £3,648, whereas the Greece price was 1,593 or something, wasn't it?
£1,600.
So it's over double. And I'm not confident. Like again, Emma and Alice is what they do in Turkey, in Greece. The microbiome and your endometritis. and the hysteroscopy is included obviously in that as well, and the NK test cells, but I'd also get the blood panel. The only thing I wouldn't get is the checking your, like doing the mock transfer side of it. But again, if there's not really any success rates in that.
Yeah, and it's kind of feels like an extra that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah. Right. And then the endometrial receptivity test analysis era is actually red on the HEFA list.
Oh,
so
okay.
So the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority, that's like your governing body for IVF. The the HFEA says there's no good quality evidence that it improves chance of having a baby in most fertility patients, like I just said, but that's like kind of where that comes from. Emma hasn't got its own traffic light page, but there's insufficient evidence that testing or altering the endometrial microbiome improves live birth rates. Interesting because there's so much chat about lactobacilli at the minute. And then Alice also doesn't have a traffic light rating. They do say detecting and treating confirmed chronic endometritis can be appropriate, but there's not strong evidence that routine Alice testing provides IVF success in all patients, which is fine because you wouldn't have that because not everyone's going to have it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting.
It's interesting, the price difference.
Yeah, but it's an option if you don't. But then you kind of think, okay, so it's say £1,500.
It's like £2,000 more.
It's £2,000 more. It's not going to cost. That is what I would literally, like, going back to what we said last week about holidays. That is my holiday in with that. And also the travel back and forth to London for this, because I'm guessing a mock transfer, you're going to be up and down, aren't you?
Well, it'll be like, yeah, exactly. You have to like,
and you probably have to have blood tests for like progesterone and you know, to see how you're getting on.
That's
so I
quite
thought
cool
that was really
that,
interesting, but it is an option. I did get quite overwhelmed on it again because they're just kind of throwing it like, yeah, and then this is like this much, and I'm like, okay, so we're talking now like £3,648. I'll just find that then, shall I?
Yeah, just dip into my pocket.
Yeah,
do you know what's funny though? Like when you were talking about the Locus Medicus one, I was like, "Ooh, okay, this piques my interest."
That was personalised to me, remember?
I know, as well.
That's also what I like. This again is just a panel that they've thrown together.
Yeah.
What I liked about Locus Medicus is they were like, okay, Portia, this is for you, and he is very clear on this is not for other people. I think he was a bit worried about me sharing it and being a bit like, this is the panel. It's not. It's for me.
Yeah, but you've made that quite clear anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
It's for you.
Just in case you weren't clear, guys, it's me, mine.
M-E, the P.
Yeah, and Steve, obviously.
Yeah.
He doesn't really go looking. It's not him either. So yeah, it's an option for the UK if you don't want to travel and it's within your budget and, you know, London's good for you. You've then got to also think there's the likes of like Dr. Gorgie and stuff who are then doing all the, you know, does those NK cells, do they include like all the funny mismatches of genetics? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know enough about it. Didn't ask those questions. They didn't answer my question on any antibodies. No one cares. But it was quite insightful, and keep your eyes peeled, guys, because I think even Dr. Gorgie and that they do a lot of people, these places do open evenings, and I think the one with Dr. Gorgie, if you go to the open evening, you get 10 minutes free with them.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yeah, and they were offering consultations discounted with, I think it's Dr. Daniela. Now, she is someone that is being raved about recently by another one of these influencers out there who was raving, the one we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, who was with one clinic and now doesn't think they did a good job, and now is with Dr. Daniela, I think her name is. But Avenues, I think they try and make it really like you go in and it doesn't feel clinical. They try and make it more like come into the lounge and like.
Oh, I like that.
That's where Jessie King went as well.
Oh,
has a very good reputation.
Yes,
and they're very, very advanced with AI there as well. But I do think it's positive that they offer these things. And again, I just wonder why abroad gets such a bad rep, because they're doing all these tests in the UK. You know, would the woman from the fertility panel say this was a medical trial and I shouldn't be paying for it? Was she saying that they shouldn't be in the room that day? No, she went she chose to go in on those clinics. So I don't know, but it's an option for everyone, and that's what I found. So I thought I would share it with the gang.
Thanks for sharing. That's really interesting. So it's things to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. What have you been up to then?
So I keep meaning to say I got a new kettle, which is really exciting.
Okay.
It is exciting because I can't believe I had a plastic kettle this whole time.
Right, we're talking my back on microplastics.
Yeah. And it stemmed from like, I didn't really use that kettle that much. And then since I've been having my bone broth, I've been boiling the kettle, because this one is you add hot water. So whereas before the bone broth I had before, it was one where you have to stir it. It's already pre-made, you know. This one is a powder that you put in. So you have to have hot water. Anyway, I was like, it's probably not good that I'm boiling the kettle every day. and then using the bone broth. So I was like, we should probably buy a new kettle. Saw like loads of
so it
different
hadn't
ones.
broke. You literally just replaced it.
No, but it was quite old. Like we'd had it for 6 years since we moved in. So, and I thought, it can't be good. So I thought it's time. Also, Tony had got some new pans. I can't remember if we touched on that before for his birthday. He was really excited about those. And they're really like fancy pans.
It's okay. So we've got rid of plastic. We've got no plastic pans. We're very...
Well, we didn't really have... We had like one, but we got rid of those. But these ones are really nice. Like stainless steel. Anyway, so I was like, we probably should get a kettle. Just invest a bit. The kettle's out there. I was like, oh, there's quite a lot. It's actually quite hard to find one without a plastic lid though. But I thought the main boiling area is all plastic free basically, so that's really good.
I have the glass kettle, but it does have a plastic lid, but it's BPA free.
BPA free, I think that's quite common.
That was fine. I also want to get one of those silicone kettles. One of the girls in Antalya had it when she went away. They fold down. It's collapsible kettles when you go away. Because how many like this is a proper? I feel like you're not a podcast until someone on this has told this story.
Yeah.
The amount of people who apparently boil knickers in the hotel kettle. Have you also seen that man on TikTok who cooks a meal and he uses he's there like cooking an egg on the iron, frying an egg on the iron? Like it's bizarre. It's disgusting. Imagine ironing your clothes and it's like it smells of egg. It's a thing. People wash apparently it's very common, and I now will never ever use a hotel kettle again.
Well, I said
but when you go somewhere and they have nice coffee and tea, like I want to have a cup, but maybe I just take my own kettles.
Did you order one?
No, but you just reminded me. So like, should I?
I mean, go for it.
I mean, that's not good. That's silicone. It's not going to be good.
It's silicone.
It's going to be. It's going to be full of like plastic and crap. But it's better than thrush.
Yeah. Or because some people apparently piss in those kettles. Oh, gross! Stop it.
People are disgusting. I'm sorry, but you just, it's like how hotels in general are actually sick. It's actually really disgusting to think you pay to stay somewhere where they don't even wash the like cushions or the throws.
I always find that I always throw off those throw bits.
And I remember once I dropped something on the floor at a Marriott and I bent down and I saw under the bed and I was like, ugh! Like I just was like, this bed is not being pulled out, and that was at a Marriott.
Yeah, well, I take my pillowcase now.
Do you?
I have a silk pillowcase. Yeah,
I have silk pillowcases, but
I tell myself I take it because it's good for me, but really I think it's because I'm like,
well, they'd be washed and they'd be hot washed because it's always white bedding.
You'd hope, wouldn't you?
But it's a bit. The cleaner can't really do much about. The cleaner's not going to be there bleaching a kettle because someone's weeding it.
Well, no, because you wouldn't expect anyone to weed a kettle.
No, but you would, because everyone tells you that I mean, these people must. The people who are people boil their knickers. It must come from someone who's boiled their knickers.
Yeah, true. It's obviously come from somewhere.
So I'm actually going to have to order, but it will be a plastic kettle. But I won't be using it very often. But also, I thought when I go away for work, I can then take my bone broth with me and have my bone broth for like in the evening before bed, because like we want our collagen and we want our extra protein. So I do think it's going to have to be an essential. So I might as well if I'm going to get it, I might as well get it now.
Well, yeah, you're not using it every day.
It's only $11.99 on Amazon as well, by the way, guys.
Oh, that's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my new kettle. So we're like slowly moving all the kitchen stuff to nice things. It's just our chopping boards now that we do need to just invest in some good ones.
Sorry to derail your week again. I've just ordered the Schmoll dishwasher tablets. So I finished my Kit and Kin. Would repurchase, but they're $9.99 for a pack of 30.
Yeah.
The Schmoll are a load cheaper, I think. But they had this offer. I went on to look at Schmoll. I don't know how it's small, but I want to call it Schmoll.
Is it? But I like
it's probably small. Schmoll. But they had this offer where I didn't know how many you got, but you've only got your first something, you get a load for free.
Yeah.
And then they send them every 7 weeks. So I've set up a subscription, but it was $6.99 every 7 weeks. Don't know how many that got me.
$6.99.
But I told them, like, how many times a week do you use your dishwasher? So I said 4, because we use it every other day.
God, we use ours daily.
Do you?
I don't know how we make so much stuff.
Yeah, how do you make so much stuff?
I don't know.
But I'm going to try them. They're pink. So
cute.
So I'll keep you posted. But the Kit and Kin ones, I would repurchase. I do really like them. I am still, however, I don't really think you can judge them because I am still using normal rinse eggs, so some run out of that.
Oh, yeah.
I must have just brought a bottle before I decided to be toxic free.
You're going to have to do a test and just do it completely like just that and see.
Sorry, but carry on. You've like 6 times now.
That's okay. It's good to get like recommendations and stuff.
Like I said, many at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. Keep them coming. I need to get that mascara that you've been using.
Guys, the L'Oreal Paradise mascara. Get waterproof, because I don't like it if non-waterproof. I think they flake.
Does it come off easy with the waterproof one?
It goes on. It's got castor oil in it. It's the only reason I bought it because I needed one. I was on ASOS doing an order anyway, and I was like, I'll just get a mascara. And I've used expensive mascaras. I used to have a Louboutin one. It was really drying. Anyway, this was castor oil infused. I thought, well, that's really good for your lashes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so nice. When you put it on, it feels very oily. I can't describe it, but it's so voluminous and so like wet. Sometimes mascaras can be a bit dry, so it doesn't clump that much because it's so wet. You can kind of brush through it.
Yeah.
But I am obsessed.
Okay, yeah, I need to get some because mine's running out. I'm going to purchase, I think. Look at me. I'm going to do your tallow and ash, your mascara. Okay, yeah.
I did buy a plug. This is what I'd like to know. Is there any non-tox plugins? Because I had to buy a plug-in yesterday, and when I tell you, it smells delicious. The whole hallway smells of pure watermelon, but it's like so fake toxic, and I'm like, this whole house now is like, we're doing so well, and then I've just plugged in like pure chemicals. You're like, but I need it with the dog, so I need like a lot. I need I was wondering, because Ambipure and stuff sometimes do those essential oils ones. I wonder if they're a bit better.
I was gonna say, could you not? The only thing you could probably do is like, I'm looking at my wax burner, but like put essential oils in a wax burner. But that's like,
it's a bit dangerous, isn't it? These days?
Exactly.
I do have like wax melts, I suppose, probably okay. But it's not like I don't A, burn them in the summer, and B,
yeah,
I just need like a plug-in.
There must be. Maybe there is. Let's have a look for that.
Yeah. Any recommendations, guys? Let us know.
Because you can buy essential oils which are like tox-free completely, and then you can. Surely there must be a plug-in like that, so it's not so.
Yeah. I have got like a neon diffuser thing, but again, I don't want something that's pumping out. Well, I suppose it's probably better.
Oh, I've got a diffuser, and you just put essential oils in it.
Yeah.
Move it down to your lounge.
Maybe I should move it into a hallway. I was thinking, because it's like the hallway that I like to have it, because then that would go through the whole house.
I actually had mine on recently because I had bought some calming ones when I was going through that phase of doing like fragrance-free washing stuff, and then I was like putting essential oils in, and I was like, I'm gonna try and make the house calm, and it was lovely.
Yeah, maybe I'll move. Yeah, because I've got that. Oh, actually, mine's sleep. The thing. Maybe I'll finish off sleep and use it upstairs.
You'll just be falling asleep.
Yeah, and then I'll switch it up and get maybe when I'm going shopping this weekend, so I might get like a energizing one or something.
Oh yeah.
So when I finish the watermelon, I tell you what though, God, it smells gorgeous.
I bet it does.
It's like one of the Febreze plugins, and it's like a tropical one. Oh, stunning.
Oh, it'd probably be good.
Yeah, they're all my I'm out of recos now, guys. That's
okay. Okay. Well, we'll find a good diffuser, non-toxic, and then you can
please do let us know.
Okay. So going back.
Sorry.
I want to touch on, like I don't want to go into a full story of it, because we're going to actually do an episode, aren't we?
When Charly told me the story, I was like, we've got so much we can talk about.
Yeah. But basically, long story short, I was talking to this lovely lady who used to live in Greece, and she was basically telling me about these stories. It's like really positive stories of her friends who have either struggled with IVF and had like different fertility stories and journeys, and they went to this monastery and then they got pregnant basically, and we'll go into the full details because it's actually quite like an interesting story, but it was just so lovely to hear those stories and those positive outcomes.
Nice to share it with someone who would need to hear that.
Exactly. And I was like, well, basically we're talking about something else, and then I was like, I do a fertility podcast, and was telling her about that. She's like, oh really? And then her husband was going to start telling me the story, but I had to go back over to the soul fries thing. So I was like, I've got to go. And then she ran over. She's so sweet. She ran over to tell me. They're so lovely. They're the loveliest couple. And she was basically telling me these stories, and I was like, I have to tell Tony, because he wasn't around. I don't know where Tony had gone. He was to the toilet. So I have to tell him. And then I was straight to Portia. I was like, I need to tell you about this. And then we decided that we're going to do a whole episode on it, aren't we?
Because I had my fair share of going to these places. And also I went somewhere a couple of years ago, and now Charly's going in September, so I can send her to the same place and see if she has better luck.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that with, like we said last week, we'll do a Lionsgate episode. I think we're going to do like another bit of like not manifestation as much, but like spiritual signs.
Yeah.
So we'll do that on if we got an episode that comes out on the 8th, I think it's like maybe the 4th or something, we'll do it then.
Yeah, we'll have a look, and then we'll do it. But then, and also like going into like the street food and stuff, the other day I was actually really impressed with Tony. He is very open about talking about his like fertility journey and fertility, and it's quite funny because we had quite an important meeting, soul fries related, and one of the guys said, Tony said to him, oh, do you want to go for a beer after the market? We do like markets on Thursday and sometimes a Tuesday in Bristol, and he said, oh no, I can't have a beer today, I've got like a really important like meeting. And then do you know what's really funny? got back from this meeting. It wasn't anything to do fertility related, but the guy messaged both me and Tony, and he was like, "Oh, I hope everything went okay for you today. sending you lots of love." Like,
isn't that nice? That like, this
yeah,
is the thing. It goes back to what Emma Greed said. If we break down the barriers, people only want. Well, I mean, there are some people who don't want the best for you, but like most people
yeah,
want the best for you, and it's like,
yeah,
why shouldn't we talk about it? And like, it's nice. I think
yeah,
it's always nice to have other people's good thoughts.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
was lovely, and I was just like, "It went well, thanks, but it's not what you think it was."
Oh, bless. That's
But
really
he was
nice,
like,
though.
"Yeah, it's really lovely." And then another guy, both men were both like, yes, the other day was saying to me, um, "Oh, my friend," I was telling about the podcast,
Yeah.
and his friend, he was like, "Oh, my friend's actually conceived through IVF, and they had their baby on the hottest day of the year." So he was really excited to tell me that. But you know, when you're like, that's really lovely that, like, I didn't tell him originally about, Tony was talking about the fertility stuff to him originally, not me. So
That's
the
really random, the
men,
hottest day. I'm sure it was lovely for him, not his wife, who's like sweating away trying to give birth.
I did think, I was like, oh God,
Get aircon in
congratulations. But
hospitals.
yeah, that's what I said to him. I was like, surely it was probably the best
That's what you
place.
do.
Surely you get aircon. No, you
No,
must
like
get
hospitals
aircon.
working didn't. It was just fans.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you where there
I
isn't
mean, I haven't worked.
aircon.
I haven't worked in a hospital for like 12 years, but
I'll tell you where there isn't aircon. Cribs Causeway. But I'll tell you where there is. Space
oh well.
NK.
Wow, I went into Boots the other day to pick up my prescription,
Mm.
and the man, I was like, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, it's warm in here. And then when I got down there, it was like I felt the breeze of the aircon. He went, it's really hot in here today. We're not going to cope. And I was like, oh right. I was like, is that not aircon? He was like, well, we're the only part of Boots that's got aircon because we've got the like medications. We need to keep them cold. And I was
Oh.
like, oh, that's great. Then he was like moaning, and like down the front of the shop, they were like fanning themselves. And I was like, you
Oh
cannot
God.
moan. These
No,
poor
there's
women.
there. Yeah, you
Chris
can't.
Causeway is the same, I think, as Mary Hill. It's got like glass. Has it got a glass roof? Mary Hill's got
Oh
a glass roof, and it's like a conservatory. It lets in
no, I
all the
don't think
sun.
it made it. Like the food
I
hall
feel
was
like there is quite a lot
really
of
hot.
glass in
There
Cribs
is a
Causeway.
lot
I
of
haven't
glass.
been in ages, but
But
I
I
was there
said,
at Christmas on the way. I had to
well,
pop
we
in.
wouldn't have had the aircon then. But they in Space NK, it was lovely. Like I was buying something, and
Gorge.
Tony was literally behind me. I was like, "Why are you so close?" And then he said, "It's just really
Oh,
nice
what did you get in
aircon in
Space
here."
NK?
Oh, just a cleanser,
What cleanser?
Medicate.
Did you? Which one?
There's only one, I think. Oh, I don't know. It's the one. Maybe I bought the wrong one.
I'm
It's
trying
like
to
a
do
one.
loads of stuff.
Medicate's
Yeah.
really lovely. I do like Medicate, but I don't know how tox free
It's
it
a bit
is.
harsh. A bit harsh on your skin for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that and the SPF.
I listened to Jess Wright's podcast, like with
Mm-hmm.
her sister and mum, and they had the buyer or the head of PR, sorry, from Space NK on. And she was saying you can get samples at Space NK. So if you like something, they have loads of pots behind the
Oh,
till. So I messaged my mum and I was like, you do not let me forget this, mum, because we're going to go next week.
yeah.
And I was like, I want some samples because like, they never offer, do they? Like you never go to
No,
something
they
like, and
wouldn't.
like, no, but they've got pots. So I'm like, right, let's go pump some of those testers into like anything, like serums,
Oh my goodness, that's so.
foundations. Yeah, you can proper get samples. So,
Hey, that's a good travel hack.
or then I was thinking maybe you could get a load of pots off like Shein.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be buying off Shein, but you could get a load of pots and put them in your bag. And then when you go places, why can't you? When there's a tester, pump into a pot.
Yeah, because actually, how are you meant to test something if you don't actually use it
Yeah.
properly? And
I
like
think my
a couple
problem
of
is though,
days.
I'd do it and then I'd never go back and buy it.
And
I'd
then you
forget.
just keep
Then you can buy
going
it
back for
online,
your
can't you? You can buy
refill.
it online. Yeah, you could just keep refilling. If you live near one, you could. I mean, they'd probably
I
cotton
feel
on.
like
If
that's
you lived in London,
probably.
you could just go from store to store.
They'll be like, "Have you seen?" You'll be
Well,
like,
you've got Look Fantastic, Sephora,
I
Harrods
know.
Beauty, Space NK. You could really just do one a
And
month.
do you know what? Actually, in the Look Fantastic, they had that build your box thing,
I
which,
love
like,
that.
yeah, they had small little things of like. So they
I just
must
love
do.
minis, and they're so
I love
like
minis.
economic. They don't work out
I know.
financially.
I did say, can I buy a couple of these minis, like, just to buy them? And they were like, no, you
But they're
can't. You
6
have
to
to buy the
15 quid.
box.
It's like such a bargain. A lot
Oh,
of them
did
are
you?
worth more than 15 quid on their own. Build a box is 15 quid.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
why those
didn't.
cosmetic consult pads, they're 15 quid on their own.
Yeah. Oh, really? They were in that
Yeah.
builder box.
Yeah. That's why, like, I don't think you can buy.
Um,
Did you say you can't buy more than one of them?
I couldn't
Because a
buy it
pack of.
separately. I was like, can I just
No,
buy
yeah.
one?
Yeah, but then like, they're 15 quid on their own. So you buy one and then you get 5 products free.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I had no
Fuck's sake.
concept of
I
time.
was literally, if I'd known you'd been there, I'd have been like, right, here's my order.
I just said, yeah. To be
Send
fair,
me.
I didn't have much time, so I was literally like in and
Yada,
out. And I
yada,
thought,
yada.
Portia will come down. We can go together. But,
Don't threaten me with a good time.
we're going around filling up sample boxes. Gonna have to have loads of time. Sample box. We'll go to Boots.
I don't know when this podcast
box.
became a beauty podcast, but like the past few episodes, we are the digression away from anything to do with fertility.
Yeah,
is
we need to
wild.
stop. Yeah. Well, should we go on to our main topic then? I think that's pretty much what I've been
So
up
it's
to.
World IVF Day.
Yeah.
Never mind national. World IVF Day on the 25th of July was the day that Louise Brown, the first IVF baby, was born. Happy birthday to you, Louise.
Did you watch the Netflix show on that?
No,
it was called Joy.
Yeah,
I actually really liked it. It has that guy. Oh my God, what was he in?
Oh, Happy Valley guy.
Yeah.
James Norton.
Yeah.
Interesting, because he was in that one about the people who took the wrong kids home from the hospital, wasn't he, as well?
He was, yes. I watched it because of him as well.
He's really fit.
Yeah, I really like him. But it's really good. It's a good watch. I quite enjoyed that.
And it wasn't the embryologist a woman?
Yes.
Can't remember her name, Jeanette.
I feel like, well, they had a lot of like slack, like, why are you doing this?
But it was literally, when you think about it, it was like sci-fi.
Yeah.
It was like test tube babies, like aliens, like... Because we've got one of our friends is a twin, and they were IVF twins, and they're our age. They're like, what, 37? Just turned 37 at school, do you remember? And they're like, they must have been quite, like, obviously not that early on, but like, back then you probably IVF wasn't that common. And now, as you pointed out the other week, one child in every classroom is an IVF baby.
Yeah.
Which is sad that it has to happen, but also maybe those children wouldn't have been in classrooms because they wouldn't have been born had it not been for IVF.
Exactly.
So it's incredible. And it's also World Embryologist Day, which I'm guessing is because of
IVF Day.
So shout out to those amazing embryologists out there.
Imagine being an embryologist.
Job. It'd be very clever.
Oh, you'd have to be so smart.
Like all the things about like cell division and...
Oh yeah, do you remember that in biology?
God, sorry, I'd be absolutely useless. I'm like, it looks like a bubble.
What's the main thing called? A nucleus. Can you see it?
Literally. But yeah, so it is World IVF Day. This is what I found really funny. 1 in 6 people experience infertility, but only what I heard this the other day. 1 in 14 people vape. Now, I thought way more people would have vaped. Think of all the vape shops around, and that's 1 in 14 people. All the support for vapors, right? You can go to any shop and buy a vape. You're never more than about 50 foot from a vape.
Yeah.
But why is the support for the 1 in 6, which is like, you know, double the amount of people that are actually struggling with fertility?
Yeah,
isn't that wild? There's like double the amount of people are infertile that vape over double.
Also, I swear there's more people that vape. That's insane.
Yeah, I thought 1 in 4, but then I suppose I couldn't I don't really know people who vape.
Yeah, to be fair, we both don't vape, and
there's not 14 of us.
I'm trying to think. I don't have 14 friends.
None of our friendship group vapes. Actually, one does when she's had a drink.
Okay, so she's the one.
Shame on you listening. You know who you are with your Mary Jane. What's it called? A Lost Mary? Not a Mary Jane. Lost Mary. So yeah, I just thought that was fascinating. But we put some stories on, so we didn't want to just go to, we thought we can't not acknowledge World IVF Day, but we've also just not long ago done the IVF series. If you're new here, we did do a whole IVF series, like through each step of the IVF process. They'd aim to be like drop-in episodes if you need them at the time. So instead we thought we'd come out to you, and we asked some questions on our Insta story. Didn't give much notice of this, to be honest, because we only thought about it yesterday. But we asked a few questions, so I thought we'd share some thoughts. So, what is the one thing no one warned you about when trying to conceive or doing IVF? So someone said that my lining would be too thick, unable to start injections, and it happened twice. Like, that is, isn't it? Like, you just don't think that IVF would be a non-starter.
Because you don't think about it. You think IVF's the answer. So you're like, right, off I go to do my IVF, and then you're then hit with more things. That, like,
I wonder what
don't think about that.
I don't know if I know the story of that person either, and I'm not sure if we've spoken to them about. I feel like we have, and I can't remember the ins and outs of why the lining was too thick, and what if there's any issues there.
Yeah, because surely, like, you don't really hear that very often, do you?
No, it's normally too thin. Yeah, and especially at the beginning, to even start injections and it happening twice. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what I did find interesting about this, so the one thing no one warned you about, I thought it would be more like, oh, you know, it's like it takes longer than you think, or mentally draining. But these were really like
specific.
These are from women who've been let down. So the doctors actually don't know best sometimes. And someone else followed up with that you have to do so much research for yourselves because the experts don't seem to care. And I just think like I don't want to put anyone off who's like about to go through IVF, but you really do. And I know we talk about it a lot. You have to advocate for yourself.
Yes, you do. Yeah. You do, because you could easily like go in and just be like, you're putting your trust in the professionals. And like, if there is just one thing that you think, just ask. Like,
Yeah.
ask questions.
If
And like,
something doesn't feel right.
yeah, and trust your gut. Like they
Yeah.
do say that your gut is your second brain. And I there is something in trusting your gut.
In the words of the National Railways, see it, say it, sort it.
Seriously. Oh my God, I love that. I'm actually going to go into my other appointments back in my brain.
But they don't. Like, at the end of the day, your doctor, they're busy. They see a lot of patients. You know your body best. If something doesn't feel right, always question it. I was made to feel in my first IVF round that they didn't really have time for me. And again, even sometimes in my second round, like, I'll be honest, like they are busy and they're doing a million things. And sometimes you actually have to, and, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to hug me and hold my hand and like stroke my hair like that lovely man did the first time. I did appreciate
that sounds nice though.
Sometimes you just need to say, whoa, let's just recheck that, because the mistakes do get made and you do have to advocate for yourself, because especially when you've done your own research and you've got different perspectives. I know so many girls who've advocated for themselves and have then got like better outcomes for it.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we have to. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? If I won the lottery, I would literally, I think, pay some of the top people. I'd probably pay Dr. Victory. The guy who owns Antalya IVF, and my new Greek doctor, he's going to be my doctor. I think I'd pay them I'd fly them all into maybe Bora Bora, because I've won the lottery here, so maybe Bora Bora. And I need to incentivize it for them, because I'm like, you'll have to drop, also it's really horrible, sorry for everyone else, but they're going to have to drop you as patients, because they're going to be looking after me. Maybe I'd put some money into the clinics and like pay for I'd pay for the IVF rounds for the people that are having their journeys impacted, because they'd have to wait for another month.
That's kind.
And I'd get them all in a room and be like, right, what are we doing? And I would make them all sit together and agree a plan. And I would let them leave until I was pregnant. Because I was really rich, so I could.
Yeah, exactly. You would be like, I'm paying for you to be here.
Yeah, this is your all-inclusive in Bora Bora.
I wonder how much that would like cost.
And then I'd go on my Insta stories and I'd advertise a holiday to regular. but only child-free couples would be able to apply.
That was a criteria.
Sorry, Stacey Solomon.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I just think you need, like, you sometimes just feel like they've got so much else on their plate. Like, if you want one-to-one care, you would have to pay for one-to-one care.
Yeah.
And that you've got to remember you are in the system. I did think that was quite interesting. Someone actually said how much egg retrieval can actually hurt. And then we had that, our friend Hayley who pierced the bladder during it. That's not so, actually her bladder popping was the time that it worked for her. So.
And we did joke about it. Maybe that should be an add-on.
Maybe, an add-on. But sometimes it can, everyone's got a different pain threshold. I personally don't find it painful at all. Other people do. And also kind of like, not just physically, emotionally, it's quite a lot as well.
That's what I was expecting more like answers about like.
Well, someone did then say it consumes every thought that makes you question everything. And again, we should be letting it consume more of our thoughts, because we keep.
This is probably why, because when I went through it the first time, I was very consumed, all-consuming.
Yeah.
Like Googling, searching everything every minute of the day. And I even to the point where Tony was like, right, you're getting a bit like obsessive now. I think that's maybe why like I don't want to go back into that, because I probably will. Because it does.
But you've got the outlet for it now, because you think every week we'll be talking about it on here. Twice a week, and then you can share it on stories, you can do TikToks, you can do a vlog, like there's an outlet for it now. I found my turkey run, even though I wasn't sharing it publicly, filming it all really helped.
Yeah, so it's cathartic, isn't it?
And you're helping other people then as well.
Yeah, true.
Then we asked what surprised you most about your TTC IVF journey. I kept this as TTC and IVF, but I think most people who answered were actually IVF girls. Someone put the lack of control you feel through each stage and the unknowns that came with it. So true. We've always said that you can't plan anything. You just got to roll with it.
You just have to, exactly. Just have to go with the flow, unfortunately.
And how much research I had to do myself again.
Advocating.
Yeah, and I think that comes with experience, because I think it's only when around, and some people are probably sat here thinking, well, I did IVF and it was fine. I didn't have to do any of that. It was just, it worked.
And
that's
some people
great.
do.
I think it's when it's failed or you've had a complication, that's when it gets a bit trickier, and you're in situations like ours, is probably where you have to be a bit more like, even now, like, where do I put my money?
Yeah. And it goes
It's
back to
a
that
real,
whole thing where we said, who do you trust? You're putting your trust in someone.
and that requires you to do research and advocate for yourself to pick that person. Hence why I would pick 3 if I was a millionaire. I haven't got any women in that group, though. Do you not think that's weird?
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I've got 3 older men.
What about Natalie Crawford?
I like Natalie Crawford. Yeah.
Just add her in for the fun, because you're a millionaire now, so you could have 4. Don't have to have 3.
What helped you cope on your TTC IVF journey?
Oh yeah, you got 3 of
Oh,
these.
this one I did promise, guys, we didn't answer these ourselves.
This was me.
Someone put relatable podcasts.
It wasn't me.
Muting lots of people with babies. Fair enough. Listening to your podcast, enjoying the small things in life right now, family. Small things in life are absolutely priceless. We always say this: romanticize every second of every day if you can.
Yeah.
Just really do enjoy the small stuff. Like, what did I think the other day? I was walking the dog. Oh, that was it this morning. The amount of, like, they weren't even butterflies. I think some were like moths. It was like, you know, like those weird, like, butterfly, mothy small things. But some of them were pure butterflies down when I was walking around this morning. And like these bright blue dragonflies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I also saw this thing the other day with my abundance year. A blue dragonfly is very lucky.
Oh,
apparently. And I've seen multiple. And I was just out in nature and I was like, God, like there's bumblebees, butterflies, dragonflies. And I just thought, like, how gorgeous. And like the geese have had their goslings. It's just lush.
Oh, goslings. Do you know, to be fair, I did walk past this lady's house today and her hydrangeas are looking beautiful. And I did think, they're really
can't grow hydrangeas.
Can you know? My mum grows good hydrangeas. I just
the garden's too hot for them, I think. Having a plan of action and a way forward at all times.
Yes,
we like that, don't we? Well, isn't that funny that we like that? And actually, at the moment, I've got a plan. You don't.
I've got a plan to make a plan.
A plan to make a plan. Listening to the podcast. Thanks.
Oh.
Not watching what I eat as much, just going with the flow. You go, girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, nice.
I love that. A supportive partner and network. Yeah, very important. Yep. And then someone's put Reiki, reflexology, acupuncture, mindfulness, and meditation. Girl, you are throwing the kitchen sink at that.
Yeah, they're all really good things.
They are. I would love some reflexology right now. Nice foot massage. Gorge.
I'd love a massage.
So they were the questions that we asked on the box. And I think from that kind of just told me that it's big, it's overwhelming. You need to advocate for yourself and you need to really romanticize the little things and just find joy where you can.
And take a beat. Yeah. Take a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of like future updates, so obviously IVF began in like 1978.
Obviously.
It was founded. No, that's when she was born. So really, if that was July, so it's 1977 would have been when she was
But we don't know,
conceived.
she was the first successful IVF, wasn't she? IVF baby. So they could have started earlier on.
Yeah. So we've got Robert Edwards, a physiologist, received a Nobel Prize for developing IVF.
That was the fit guy.
Was that him? And then Patrick Steptoe was the gynecologist who just developed the laparoscopic egg retrieval.
Oh, maybe that was him actually. I can't remember who he played.
Don't know. And then it was Jean Purdy, a nurse and embryologist. So she was the embryologist whose crucial contributions were under-recognised for many years, obviously, because she was a woman.
Yeah.
But some interesting milestones were in 1969, the first successful fertilisation of a human egg was by Edwards. So they 10 years before, well, not 10, but 8 years before, they'd already started. 1978, Louise Brown was born. 1984, the first baby from a frozen embryo was born. So Louise must have been a fresh transfer.
Yes, okay.
And then 1992, Giampiero Palermo introduced ICSI.
Oh, wow. So ICSI's quite...
Yeah, ICSI was 1992. So today...
That's when my brother was born.
Where you... What? Oh,
when your brother was born. When my brother was born. So it's like 30...
through ICSI in 1992. I was like, what?
Surprise!
Today, IVF has resulted in the birth of well over 12 million babies worldwide, making it one of the most significant advances in reproductive medicine. 12 million.
That is insane.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So it just shows you
not just make you think though, like, how are we that far along? Yeah. We can't. No, we don't know. We have to have a 2-week wait.
Yeah, we still can't.
We
don't
want the 2-week wait. We want AI to tell us exactly where that embryo's gone. Maybe you could attach the embryo with like a camera.
I reckon they will have something like that in the future.
I would like to. I think AI in IVF is going to be so exciting.
100%. Yeah, it will be. It will be how it will definitely enhance it. Surely.
I mean, how amazing for the people who had IVF babies like back at the beginning in like the 80s and 70s and 80s. Like, there can't have been many. Like, it must have been a lot. The success rates would have been a lot lower because there's a lot less technology.
Yeah.
But again, when you think back to those days, like obviously we weren't born then, so I don't know. We should have asked our parents what they thought about IVF. Like, did they think it was like weird and like, because people still have that opinion now. We see it on TikTok, people like, oh, you know, if you can't have baby, like you shouldn't mess with nature and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well,
Frankenstein vibes, all that like horrible things people say.
I think what I remember from the film, there was like loads of protests and stuff. About doing it. Yeah, I think so. I feel like that is a memory in my things. I watched that film ages ago when it first came out.
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a really lovely film.
I just don't like it's not a TV watcher, am I? But yeah, we just thought we couldn't do an episode that didn't touch on IVF today because it's such an important day for so many of us who've had IVF.
Yeah. Exactly, we should recognise it.
But then we have a Between the Lines, which takes us in a slightly different direction. So we deliberately didn't talk about this at the time when it came out because I was just a bit like, I just don't think it's that helpful to talk about it. But ultimately, it's still hanging around, and we thought we probably should talk about it. Was the Northern Cyprus donor concerns?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, isn't it? As well,
it is. So there was a BBC investigation that revealed that parents of 7 children believed the wrong sperm or egg donors were used during their fertility treatments at several clinics in Northern Cyprus. Now, they say several clinics, only one was really highlighted in the thing I was reading. It was like Dogus or Dogus.
Okay.
Not one I've looked at myself. But when they say Northern Cyprus, guys, all the clinics I know of in Cyprus are Northern Cyprus. It's like, and it's kind of the Turkish side. So the laws are very similar to that in Turkey. It's funny because one of the girls in Antalya once asked the doctor, like, what would happen if, like, is there any chance you could give me the wrong embryo? And he laughed and was like, I would literally face the death penalty for that. But then there is no death penalty in Turkey, so he was telling us.
Oh my gosh.
But I think he was just kind of saying the significance of it. And actually, when I looked it up for Turkey after that, because I was thinking, oh God, like, could it happen? You've got to check when you go abroad that what kind of, we've got the kind of, in the UK, it's very tightly governed.
Regulated.
I don't think it is that regulated though. No,
is it not?
Well, not really.
They have their regulations, like they've got their
but like it's not tightly. It is still. I think it's not regulated enough to not be the Wild West out there, and to be people to be taking your money left, right, and centre.
I think it's more regulated than some other clinics abroad, potentially.
I don't agree because everyone's got different.
Well, I suppose there's different regulations then, isn't there?
Yeah, but like for Turkey, for example, if you had a problem with a Turkish clinic, there is a very clear pathway of what to do.
Okay.
And how to raise those concerns. And, I will say the checking of the information in Turkey was 10 times more thorough than it was in the UK. You know when they give you like a wristband, they scan it.
Yeah.
It was scanning, but it was speaking on the phone, confirming your identity again and again and again. And like every step, you're confirming your identity. And I feel like in the UK, I probably confirmed it once.
Yeah, I don't even really remember confirming my identity.
And even when you're on the screen, when you're lying there, having your transfer, you can see into the room, the embryologist room, you can see into the Petri dish. The Petri dish has your name on it.
Oh, wow.
Like everything's, you can line it up. So if anything looked wrong at any point, you could, and then they're scanning you, ringing you.
Yeah.
Like even, you've been scanned, you can see it on the screen and they still give you the phone and go confirm your name to the embryologist.
Okay, yeah. See, they're going through loads of things. But this is
just my clinic and my experience.
Yeah.
Donor is obviously very different because also, is it the clinic that sourced the donors, I wonder, or are they getting them from somewhere else? Like, is it their own donor bank or are they getting it from an external donor bank? I wasn't really clear on that.
So maybe that's the bit which maybe is not as regulated.
Well,
I don't know.
The doctor, so I think it says in the, so basically, just going back to the story, most of the families have completed commercial DNA tests which appear to confirm their fears that their kids haven't got the same, they're not a biological match. One of those families discovered their 2 children were not biologically related after doing an accredited test which can be used in UK courts. Same-sex couple Beth and Laura were each the biological mother to one of their children and had asked the clinic, Dogus IVF Centre, to make sure that the same donor was always used to ensure the children, James and Kate, were blood relatives. So they would have so they had different mums.
Yeah.
But they would have the same dad.
Same dad. So they
carefully selected a donor who had undergone extensive health and psychological screenings, as you would. However, genetics expert Professor Denise Sundercombe, Court of King's College London, concluded it was unlikely either child was related to the family's requested donor, so not even one of them was related, and confirmed the two children came from different sperm donors. Beth and Laura's doctor at the time, Dr. Ferdevs, heard of them, denies any responsibility, and Doja's IVF Centre has not responded to the BBC's questions, which made me wonder if they were using a bank themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
But I doubt the clinic are actively recruiting donors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
They
then
probably don't know where it came from.
Yeah,
but then it comes to the thing of like, how do you like?
How
Because
do
the
you
whole point of
prove
being
it?
donor, you're meant
Yeah.
to, even for like the health side of things, like consent. Like there's a whole consent piece for like someone out there is given their, they might not have.
Then they won't know. It's a minefield, isn't it?
And what if you decide to withdraw your consent on your sperm or your eggs, and then you can't because they've been used, and you didn't know?
Yeah, exactly.
It brings up a lot of questions. But my thing, the reason we didn't want to speak about at the time is we didn't want to fearmonger. The weird thing is it's gone very quiet.
Yeah. Well, do you think they're probably just investigating it more so still? Like,
I just wonder. I don't know.
We're going
I
into
also kind of think, if I had a fear that my children weren't related, would you really do the tests? Does it matter?
Wow.
You can't change it.
When I read this article, they were like, at the end of the day, we still love them, like, so the same and
so
stuff.
Then why? I just don't know why you'd test it.
Go through all that.
I think I'd rather not know and just be like, doesn't look.
Goes back to
because
that.
obviously at the end of the day, they are then completely not related because they've got completely different mums and dads.
Yeah. But
you're still their mums.
Exactly.
Like they're your biological mums.
Yeah.
So does it
it's your chosen
really
family.
matter? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it does matter. You paid for it. I'm not trying to undermine that, but I think if I had those consents, it's done now.
Yeah,
I do get, but then I also suppose they're trying to raise awareness to stop it happening elsewhere, and that's probably quite a responsible thing to do.
And it does go back to the thing where, like, it's a headline. Headlines are meant to grab your attention. They're meant to be like, oh, I'll go in. So we don't know we don't know the full ins and outs of this whole thing, and they're probably still investigating it. There's probably still like loads that we don't know about, and like, obviously you can't get away from the fact that they're like, I'm not taking away from the fact that they're not related.
Yeah.
But like you said, they have their family, and I probably would be the same. I think if I had doubts, maybe I'd want to know, but also at the same time, like, it doesn't change the outcome that you have your children, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And also, like, at the end of the day, there's a reason for a lot of same-sex couples go to Cyprus. I think probably more women than men, because men need surrogates. So I think men typically would go to America, from what I've seen. Just looking at the kind of, same-sex male couples that I've seen online. Teams go to America for the surrogate unless they have a family friend or someone that they are using.
Yeah.
Women, I think they're quite transparent about. I think it's probably, I've heard it's easier because it's so much cheaper as well, remember, to go abroad.
Yeah.
And I think there's meant to be a really good, like, kind of donor catalogue. Yeah, like the choice is good in Cyprus. So I wouldn't want it to put people off. I think you've got to do your due diligence, but how would you, it's like saying, it's like if the mistakes are happening, you do get given the wrong embryo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're not able to conceive naturally, I mean, even when you conceive naturally, look at that story you were telling us the other week about that, that program on TV. It wasn't actually the person she thought it was. That happens in real life too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But again, it's not to fearmonger. I mean, it's disgusting that it's happened and it shouldn't happen. And it's worrying if people involved are not taking responsibility and we're not getting the full story of even how it happened. It's always raising an investigation, but unless we know how to stop it happening in the future, I don't really see that that's much benefit.
No, it's just a headline to grab people's attention so then they can read about it and get scared. But you just have to, it goes back to going to do your own research as well. Like, and you shouldn't be put off by going abroad, especially for that. It shouldn't put people, and maybe like it's not clickbait because it's not, because it obviously happened, but maybe it
was just
ways
weird
to channel people to the UK clinics.
Exactly. I just thought it was a bit weird that it went massive and then silent.
We haven't heard anything from it, but that could be, like I said, it could be back down to like they're doing more.
By the time this comes out, if we have heard anything, guys, we'll add some again near the time. But
update.
Yeah, interesting. And then I just wanted to close the page. I think we've already kind of closed it a few times during this chat, but like, I really feel like we need to close the page on knocking abroad clinics down. Seeing it a lot. At the end of the day, if they can offer something that's more affordable and more better technology,
Because that's
I'm
the
a
thing as well,
patient, or I
isn't
have to,
it?
again, you have to advocate for yourself. If it's right for you, don't listen to the outside noise.
Yeah.
You know, I had it at the fertility show where I felt it was inappropriate. I feel like it's, you know, this is another attack. It's, you know, it's in Cyprus. I doubt we'd be hearing anything anywhere near as much as that if it had happened in the UK.
No, probably not.
And I just think, you know,
and I wonder if stuff like that has happened in the UK, but it's not come out. You know, it's because it's
human error at the end of this. Mistakes can always be made.
Yeah.
Or AI error, you know, anything.
Yeah.
It's always a risk of things like this happening. But there's also a risk if you went for surgery, you'd be given the wrong blood. You know, do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. It happens.
Like,
it's just one of those risks in life.
Yeah.
But I just think let's not criticize abroad
and fearmonger
when actually for some people it is the only option they have if they can't afford in IVF in the UK, and actually they can go to, say, Antalya for $3,000 and get their baby. Good for them.
Yeah, exactly. And you've had a positive experience. So many people have positive experiences, and everyone's
even, you know, we were saying a few weeks ago about like the influencers who've been maybe promoting someplace, now they're saying don't go there. And look, you've got to always make your own decisions. Never go off the recommendation of someone else unless you feel comfortable going there. And there's some people, and they maybe even start the process of going abroad, and I'm thinking, this wasn't for you. You shouldn't have gone abroad. You can only go abroad, I think, if you're confident, comfortable, and know it's the right thing to do, and you have the flexibility to be abroad. You thought it through. If you have any doubts in your mind, I really would just say don't do it, because
then you're going to be something else to
hard.
stress about.
And some people really get and they're like, oh my God, my period's not coming. I thought I would. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go. And I'm like, okay, you really got a plan for this.
Yeah.
Like, I was really lucky when mine fell, and we took a real risk. But had it not happened, that's on me. Yeah. And we would have worked it out. But you've got to be able to be flexible, and you've got to, you know, don't pay your money to someone if you don't trust them and you don't feel comfortable. If any clinic gives you any red flags, go away and make sure you are feeling comfortable with whatever that red flag was, and you talk it out or work it out or get a second opinion as well. Like, you know, that's a really valuable thing to do. Positive affirmation. In the spirit of IVF, I am part of a community that understands, supports, and never judges.
And although it's a community, I know people say it before, that you don't want to be a part of, it's a lovely, very welcoming community.
Worst girl gang to be a part of, best girls in it.
That's it. Yeah. And like, the people get it. Like we said this before, I don't think you truly understand unless you've been through it, and people do get it when they're going through it, and the most supportive women and men that you can find.
No one's heart breaks more than someone watching someone go through what they went through.
Yeah.
We'll be back on Thursday with another bonus. This will be our last Ask Isabel. And then we are moving to a slightly different format, guys. But the dilemma will still be there. I think what we realise with people is when you start listening, we see a lot of people then go back to the beginning. So,
yes, you've had loads of people starting from scratch.
So then it takes you a while to catch back up. And by which point, when we say you've got any questions for Isabel, we've actually already answered them. So what we're going to do, I think, is pick some broader topics with the Z2S team and cover them off. So hopefully you'll like those. But tune in on Thursday for Ask Isabel. And we'll be back next Tuesday. Like, follow, subscribe. And consultations are still available to book at z2s.com/book and code FDP10.
We actually had one of our listeners book a consultation. I asked her how it went, and she said it was really good. She said,
really?
Yeah. She said she had,
I know people were booking
really
them. I haven't had
quickly.
any feedback from people who've had them, though.
Yeah, I asked her, and she said it went really quickly. So she was like so informative. Really useful. Yeah,
definitely go book your consultations, girls, and for your husbands and partners. They don't need to come, but you can talk about them.
Tony joined in halfway through an hours, and he said it was really good. So
that's good.
Yeah,
fab. Email us some dilemmas. We need more dilemmas.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And
Lovely.
we will see you on Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.